about your first love, Nikki? Get off that bench.
Get your ass up. Yes. What the f is Lestat doing? Let's get, this is what I was needing. What is going on, gang? It is your boy Taco. We are back with another interview with the vampire episode. Today we're watching episode, what episode are we on? 6 now. We're actually kind of getting through these rather quickly from my pace, so shout out to my eyes for pushing through. Special shout outs to everybody who's a Patreon, everybody who's been joining all the conversations that we've been having. I've appreciated every single comment. Even if I don't reply, just know it's strictly an eye thing. It ain't really much of a, yeah, I mean, y'all know I've talked about it a couple times. My health is just not the greatest at times. Last episode, as happy as I was for Claudia and Louis, you know, the realization that Lestat is still there, like he's still around them. So who knows where the episode is gonna go. And I think that's a very relatable situation for a lot of people who go through these situations. You try to get away from the person who's abusing you, who's belittling you and stuff like that. And even though you fought and battled, you know, when the dust settles for the time being, they're still right there. So maybe excited isn't the right word, but I'm curious to see where this episode is going to go, what our characters are going to get into. I'm loving the addition of Claudia. I think her character depth, her assessment of herself, her situation, her role to play in this, not just to play in the story, but to play in people's lives. And she's leaps and bounds above Lestat in that sense, but Lestat is like 150. So can you imagine how set in stone someone is in their ways at the age of 50, 60? He's 3 times that. So what's the chance of him ever looking at something different, you know? And then Louis, I can't even really get into Louis the way I want to. We're gonna see where this episode takes us. Got a new kind of setup I'm trying with the mic, so if I don't sound the clearest or something, let me know, and then we'll just switch back to it being right front and center of me on the desk. But I like to be able to, like, now I can use my mouse and do different without having to move stuff out of the way, so it feels good and I don't feel like I'm gonna hit something. I can, yeah, I know I'm extra animated, so I feel like I can get some off if I need to. If I need to start crumping or whatever, I can do it. Let's get into this episode, guys. Once again, shout out to the Patreons. Thank you guys for being here. Let's see what we talking about. Like I said, I'm curious about the beginning of this episode. If it's gonna start off right where we left off. And
a few shattered vertebrae.
Oh yeah,
punctured lung, and as though I were still falling.
Yeah. Oh, I got PTSD.
You could fly.
Yes.
Like Superman?
Not like Superman, propelling in a direction by the decision. Is your medicine taking?
It's cold and itchy. Thanks for asking.
Are you still dreaming about our first meeting, Daniel?
I keep waking up just before you ask me back to your shitty apartment.
He keeps alluding to that, but like the way Louis is going about it seems like he's trying to, like, obviously it's like he's trying to irk Daniel, but Daniel's trying to irk him too. So maybe Louis feels some sense of that hiding that Louis was doing. Maybe he feels that in Daniel too, and he's trying to get a little bit of a rise out of him about that, or trying to get him to like understand what he really is. Maybe.
Can we be forgiven if we do not forgive others ourselves? Lestat had disappeared after that awful night.
Good.
Vanished out of a profound sense of shame he would later confess to. This is humiliating.
Trying to learn how to walk again by chasing a goat to eat. Good job, goat.
We'll try again tomorrow.
So what would it even take to kill one of y'all? Because bro dropped you like 200 stories. That's scary. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Don't ruin the beautiful music and shit. It's kind of aggressive rings. Oh, it is this. Why are you here, bro, with gifts and shit, dog? I get, like, maybe you trying, but man, after what you did, this how you, like, all nonchalant and shit.
Hello. I've been calling quite often. I don't know if the operator is patching me through correctly.
My guy.
I bought something from Louis' favorite bookshop. 15th century. Silver and gold on the vellum.
No one here wishes to speak with you.
Exactly. Let him know, Claudia.
Perhaps we should let him decide if he wants to see me or not.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
How's that for an answer?
Wanted to say I appreciate in the moment that he's not pushing himself or forcing himself into the house. Respect the fucking boundary. Dip out. Also, it should have sufficed what Claudia said. You didn't need to hear it from Louis too. Bro, okay, go stop stalking, man.
25 horsepower Rolls-Royce 6-cylinder engine. And a front end they call a coffin nose. Isn't that rich?
You gotta learn how to apologize the right way.
I'm back in town permanently.
Were you gone?
Across the river in Algiers.
Or how long has it been?
Louis, I don't know what possessed me that night. I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without both of you.
Man, this small man, damn. Awful, horrendous things he did. I don't like the music with it too, because the music's softening you up, which I'm sure is how Louis probably feels too. 3 years is a while, but the shit that you did, bro, like that's in a regular situation, ain't no coming back from that. Well, literally, because you'd be dead from the fall, but from that type of abuse, dog, we gotta go our separate ways. All the gestures and shit, or whatever type of reflection you have, that's cool, but you can't be around us. But for show purposes, we need it because it brings that drama.
If you want me to go away, just say so.
Say it then.
I'll obey you.
For 6 years in all, we burned more gifts than bodies in that decade.
I'm not putting it all on Louis. I'm just saying, if you want him gone and he's telling you that, please voice it in that moment. From Lestat's perspective, take a hint. If he's unreceptive to the shit, also go the away. But one of y'all has to be able to say something, or he needs to be able to say something. As in Louis needs to be able to say something, and Lestat, you need to be able to take a hint.
He had written it himself in the music of the hour. His first composition in 100 years. Rashid, please play the song in question for Mr. Malloy and the doctor.
I'm not here.
And when the musicians they hired proved unsatisfactory,
Oh hell,
he played all the instruments himself.
at least he didn't
That's
kill
his
him.
voice.
It's sad that he's saying "come to me," which is the exact same thing he said to Louis in episode 1 after the death of his brother. So there's some like an underlying message within that as well too. Like, bro, go on, Lestat.
He had made the near perfect Valentine with one flaw.
Pathetic.
One perfectly premeditated flaw.
6 years of begging. You think a song's gonna get a rise out of me?
Did you like it?
This her sing?
Oh, Antoinette.
Louis is soaking wet.
To get a fucking rise out of you, Louis, my ability to keep feeling bad for you is wavering in your decision making. You're allowing yourself to be played into his hands every time. You love him just as much as he loves you, and both y'all have piss poor ways of demonstrating it or communicating it. It's
Put some clothes on, get the fuck out.
This is my house.
Do I look like I care?
Lestat.
Leave.
of course he's gonna tell her to leave.
You swam the Mississippi to find me.
I hate you.
As you should.
Pleasure never meeting you, Mr. Malloy.
You took Lestat back.
The vampire bond. There is no human equivalent.
Murderer, maker. You took him back.
It's a bond that can never fully be severed. A bond like that makes you believe there are only two of you on the planet.
Interfering in the romantic lives of her parents.
She's coming up on 33.
It's a lick in the promising vampire years.
I know that I'm not your child,
I am your maker.
but not my uncle or my daddy.
Rule number 6.
I know I'm doing this for him. I wouldn't want to confuse you.
Rule number 6. No lies.
Ask your questions.
Did you have anything to do with Paul's death?
No,
Something I always...
never.
I already discussed it, but man, oh man, was I robbed of this moment for you guys. I could have, who knows what my reaction would have been to this, but instead it's just stone faced because I knew this was coming. So please refrain. Maybe y'all don't want a picture of Lestat to be painted too early. Look, I'm not like most of the people watching these shows, I can kind of compartmentalize a lot of things to a sense where even if he did murder Paul, that doesn't change that he's going to be one of my favorite characters. I like the character. I get it, that's like a knee-jerk reflex for y'all because of how people speak in the community and all the different, they call people Lestans or this or that. Like, I'm not on that type of time, dude. Like, I don't even know what I'm trying to explain. I was robbed of that. I was robbed of it.
Who made you?
Yeah, good job, Claudia.
His name was Magnus.
Dope name.
He took me from my room in Paris. He kept me for a week, locked in a room full of corpses. He fed on me every night. And then he'd put me back in the tower with the lookalike corpse. Sure, I'd be one of them, but instead he turned me into this. Just a sweeping end to a pile of money and the sight of him throwing himself into a fire. And then I was alone.
Oh, that's fuck. To go through that, to see that, to be basically an object yourself. I knew there was something, and I'm sure there's more crazy shit that's happened to Lestat, but to be in this world, probably a raging, sad, confused, traumatized vampire and have to figure shit out alone. Just like he told Louis, his biggest fear was being alone. He's been alone in that room with these rotting fucking corpses around him, waiting for the next time that he's going to be fed on, thinking that that's going to be me one day. So a lot of the shit that he's done, and that's something else I said about this show. Your analysis or assessment, whatever, of a character can change in one line of dialogue because you just get so much information and it can just change the way that you view him. Obviously, I've always tried to give him the benefit of the doubt because you just know from the way the story's going, there's more there. There has to be a reason why he's what seems to be so twisted in the head, but he has his own tragic story as well too. And this is all still from Louis' perspective, so we don't even know if we get it from his perspective or not. Don't tell me if we do. Whoever's on a phone trying to type, I'm cool with not knowing. If we get it from his perspective, like what eventually he would speak on or speak about. So I like that, and I'm positive. He might say more.
I can't feed on others. I didn't want this, but I have a capacity for enduring.
Bro, and the way he's keeping eye contact with Louis the entire time he's saying that, and bro, every last bit of line right there. One of the things Louis been struggling with the entire time, bro. The subtle head shift just to connect with him on that moment is so earned.
I call to God.
And chuckles right here, like that, bro. Like everything is so earned and like, bro. Obviously, the writing plays a big part into it, and I'm sure they direct him in certain ways, but Sam Reed's delivery of it is impeccable because we know he's been battling with God even from episode 1. So for him to have this moment and chuckle about it, like we know what he's like alluding to, or like what that's a callback to. Dude, clean, dog, clean.
It's why I don't particularly like being abandoned.
Kill Antoinette.
Yeah. Let him know, Claudia.
Accumulated in the small city were catching up to us. Our home was often vandalized. Please return to the dark place you came from.
All right, y'all with the wrong one.
I'd like to ask a question if that's amenable to you both.
I always took you for a dog, Lestat.
Ask the question.
Is it still 4 legs for Louis and 2 legs for Claudia? Looked down upon for my body's need.
Well, you don't actually need it. Just saying you don't have to.
I agree. You'll tolerate it.
Every night these feelings arise. May I propose another rule?
We hunt separately.
When we hunt human.
He doesn't want to hunt humans. What do you...
Do you think you could try a little harder to get on with him?
Have you asked him the same question?
You're born with it or you're not.
Another one of his lies.
You can't blame her for thinking that, honestly. And you can't be mad at Lestat if it's not true.
We were wondering where you were.
Claudia?
Yo, y'all ain't really trying for real. That's Antoinette's. Oh.
You like souvenirs?
We leave the damage, so we never forget the damage.
Analogy. He wants to move on. She wants to stay on it.
She is a wall. The cliffs of Etretat.
I don't blame her.
She's grown very protective of me. That's what this is. Why it's hard.
Although that may be true, the way Lestat goes about speaking about the issues that may arise with Claudia, from what they're showing, it doesn't seem like he's addressing it in the whole group. So he's saying it just to Louis, and it seems like with him showing it that way, it makes it seem like he's trying to make a divide between them, which is coming off as like you said, you change, but it can still be interpreted as like you're plotting, like you're still trying to drive a wedge in between everybody.
Tell us about your first love, Nikki.
And one of my opponents was Johann Zukertort, who you know, of course, won the Paris Championships of '78, and
Of course, who
later
doesn't
that
know who
afternoon
won the Paris
had Jules
Chess
for a draw.
Championship of '78?
Yo, they are so f***ing petty. Oh my god.
Oh, it's you who lost, Claudia, for the many hundredth time. I admire your steadfast pursuit of a game you clearly have no acumen for.
And that's exactly how she feels about. Not obviously, they're not talking about the chess game. She feels like that about him. She always feels like he's being disingenuous, like he's not telling him the full story about shit. I'm actually really fucking with the back and forth.
You're ugly when you act like that.
Better ugly than blind.
She is poisoning Louis against me.
Antoinette. I knew. I'm like, let me not say it, but either that was like Lestat. Like I knew that was a different finger, or she was willing to give a finger. Something happened. Now in this type of situation, cheating, all that shit is wrong. With that being said, people do it. So you can see how, with all the shit that's going on, Lestat feels like he needs some, man, I'm losing my words right now, an outlet. He feels like he needs an outlet. So he's back to Antoinette again, going back and forth with her. And even though it's wrong, it is something that you can see like, yeah, this would be happening, because anytime he's at home, it's just it's hostile to him. Not to say that it's deserved or not, but that's what's going on.
He broods, she snipes.
And we all do this too. When we're mad about it, unless you're just very mature and wise, we all go to people that we know are gonna see our side of a story, or be able to make us feel like we're not the problem or issue. And that's all he's doing right here. Well, besides cheating.
We should go away, Lestat. Los Angeles.
I don't know if he love you like that.
You want to be a movie star?
New Orleans.
You're a side piece.
You got me stashed away here in Ponchatoula.
I seek refuge from complaints when I visit you, dear.
I know that, but promises were made.
I didn't mean to make you mad.
I love you, Lestat.
It wasn't shocking. He doesn't love her.
You heard him say it.
He doesn't
Split
mean
in a
it.
sandwich and serve it with a smile.
What? So you ain't gonna tell him that you know about it?
What difference would it make?
I can't, and I don't know if that sounds harsh or not, but I can't get behind the just defeatedness of Louis. Obviously, people stay in abusive relationships. From their point of view, they've been in this relationship, 40 some odd years or something like that. There needs to be some, not like fight back, but like, dog, like you just getting dragged through the motherfucking mud, my dude. Like you had that moment last episode. I'm not saying I want to see more of that. I don't need you to be physical, but I need him to, and it's true to his character. Like he was talking about what's true to Lestat's character. Louis has always been, for lack of a better term, hiding, not trying to show his true face. I'm not timid, but like sunken chest. It's sad, and I just really, from a character standpoint, I understand what he's going through, and it is tragic. But as far as like just narrative wise, it's beginning to be depressing to watch for a long extended amount of time. And I think that's part of what's supposed to happen. Like you're supposed to feel this way for him, but there needs to be some type of uptick now. Like it needs to happen, because I can't just watch you just get. If anybody's seen Rocky, when they screaming and throwing a towel, throw the damn towel. Like you gotta do something, Louis.
There's a train leaves every night for New York. We could hide out in Harlem for a few, then hop on a boat. Take us anywhere we want to go.
Anywhere sounds like nowhere.
And they can't all be like him. Or him.
She's trying.
This life, it does a number on the head, on the soul.
So now I really feel like I'm Claudia. Like we can leave, we can do this. So I want to say I've given up on Louis, but I just want to see what other characters are doing now because I can't be on this journey of melancholy, the depressiveness with you. It's hard to watch you just let Lestat physically and metaphorically just drain you beyond being drained. Like, come on. I'm not saying that to blame him and say that Lestat's not playing a part into it. Please, brother. Please.
Train's leaving in an hour. Get off that bench.
Get your ass up. Yes.
Louis.
She's the only one not standing still.
I just hold you back. Hey, sis. You don't need me. You're smarter now.
That's so sad. I want him to go.
He, of all things on the earth, deserved a nice seat. But
Come on, I'm happy for her.
39, and the only who allowed in first class was the porter. Vampire made do with what was left.
Oh, come on, man. Damn. There's so many elements of that to break down. Being segregated, being a woman, being a black woman, you know, the stuff that she's went through. Something about her still feels young, and I think it's a sense that she's not, she hasn't traveled. Like, she's been to a few places in the States, but she hasn't ever went abroad, really. So, like, this is her first, like, she's still young in a sense. And to have to do it under all these conditions is admirable. I'm sure, yeah, part of her felt like she not only wanted Louis to be with her, but needed Louis to be there with her. That doesn't take away from the fact that of how sad it is that he couldn't go with her. Like, or chose not to go with her from whatever senses of attachment that he has to Lestat. It's weird because the show, in the same way Louis given up, it almost makes me want to give up on him. Like, I'm like, all right, if you're just gonna stay, then just stay there and whatever. It's just the initial feeling that it gives you. But I do want him to break away from this and you know, go be with Claudia and see some shit. Get your French sharpened up. You know, get away from Lestat in the games. As much as I with Lestat and love the character, you and him have allowed you to drag yourself into a pit of just gray. Like the way he was describing eating food in episode 1 or 2, it just feels like mush, glue. Like, I look at you right now and that's how I feel. Like, it just like bro, you gotta get some pep in your step, Lou.
This is the part of my story back in San Francisco where you said, and I paraphrase, make me a vampire now.
Well, Mr. Dulac presides in the most desired real estate in the country. I do not see the waste Mr. Malloy sees.
A still hand? Time to watch your daughters marry?
And divorce and die. Save it for the rent boy.
May I be excused?
Why is he always, someone always talking shit to the dude?
Me again, Daniel? And so I endured my way home. Back to the crypt. Back to the undeserving Lestat.
It's just so sad, dude. Like it's just, oh my god, to the point where he wants to die. You know, say it's odd. Like he's not happy. And yes, I know they are touching on things that happen in real life. That doesn't stop the feeling inside of me of wanting him to like get out of this cage, dude. No matter how poetically he can explain the situation that he's in or how he feels, it doesn't stop the feelings that I have of wanting him to move forward. Stop stop this attachment. I know they say it's otherworldly and you can't explain what it feels like to do this. There's gotta be something in you that wants to just be determined, Louis, and he's not there right now. He's just flat.
Germany's invaded Poland. Tanks rolling through the countryside. Horrors unleashed.
Since when do you care about humanity?
Well, I don't.
He knows.
But to think, our sister, impulsive tot that she is, was on her way to holiday in Europe. I'm so glad she decided the better of it.
She got caught or he came? There's no way he stopped her from leaving too. What the f is Lestat doing?
Tickets, please. Tickets, please.
This motherfucker is out his motherfucking mom.
Claudia,
You left without saying goodbye.
Controlling, sinister, motherfucker.
And he needs you now more than ever. Louis couldn't pick an apple off a tree in his current state.
100% agree, but you being the person to come and tell Claudia that he needs you is so like, it's just a rehash of what happened last episode. He created her to be there for Louis. He knew what was going on, and now because of the situation that he's created, and then knew that he was making for Louis to come and find out the pieces. Was he just doing all that to be like, eventually when she tries to leave, I'm gonna make sure she has to say too, I'm gonna make both you fucking miserable? What the fuck is on his mind right now?
I love our family, but the rules are no secrets. Fortunately for our family, the thoughts about the vampires at a very great distance.
Bastard.
Often.
Shut the let's stop.
I couldn't agree more.
I knew that was a play on that. Him taking out the dog, speaking to her while he's with the dog, basically saying she is their pet, their dog, and then telling the dog to get back in the cage is also his way of being like, nope, you're not flying today. Back to your cage you go. This motherfucker is twisted. He's twisted, dude. There's an analogy there about the chess game. Like, he didn't put her, for the time being, he's put her in checkmate. They were going back and forth, moving pieces around the board, and he always wins the game. Right now, to him, I don't want to say it's a game, but he is just a step ahead of her. And I know I'm on the right path in that train of thought, because he also brought up you tried to fill your head with knowledge and shit like this. So like, he's talking to that point, like, oh, you think you're so smart, but you still ain't even on the, you ain't capable of what, like, you think you're capable of some shit. Watch what the fuck I can do. How low I can make you feel. Bro, there's two aspects there. As much as I hate the acts of what he's doing, as far as the writing for a character, it's fucking like, what? Like, what type, like, the level of manipulation, I don't even read in Berserk and some other shit that I read. I feel like I be knowing some super manipulative characters. Lestat is maybe number one. He's maybe number one. Y'all let me know, who are the top manipulators out there? It's in fiction and shit.
So come home and make him happy. I'll turn your bones to dust.
He's so fucking evil, dude. It's a sad moment, and I am sad for Claudia. Don't take my chuckles as I'm not sad for her. He's just so twisted, dude. Hate him or love him or whatever you feel about him, he is a driving force in this story so far that makes you watch it. Back to the chess game.
I've been having a thought the last few days, Louis.
Yeah, what's that?
I think he killed Magnus.
Stonewalling again. You've become quite predictable.
Slaves, having two black people as slaves, calling her pet, like, the undertone is there too. Somebody was telling me that they actually switched the races of the characters, and I feel this way with the races change, it makes that have more meanings than just I guess if they were white before, instead of it just being like confinement and slaves, it also plays into like what would be going on in the world around this time too, man. So I don't want to call that a nice touch, but it definitely adds a lot of layers there.
Well, the bishop can be captured. I see the trap.
Exactly, playing on what happened.
Cannot kill.
I love you, Louis. I don't say it often enough anymore.
All right, get active.
Then listen to me.
You have to think like he does, and then 5 moves ahead of that.
But the bishop cannot be ignored. The rook, the queen.
I am done enjoying.
I'm not moving my rook.
I'm going to kill him. Check.
Check.
He'll destroy you if you try.
Get a checkmate, girl.
And your queen has been neutralized. Is it very spirit?
They're letting the chess game speak about the dynamic that's going on right now. What the Anne Rice? What? They have made these characters so in-depth and so opposing to each other that watching them play a chess game is one of the biggest highlights so far.
A secret of all secrets between you and me. You want to kill him too.
You have won.
I think I'm gonna go to bed.
Move your pawn, finish the game.
Good night, Lestat.
Finish the game!
Good night, Louis.
She was right.
Spoiled, selfish, thankless.
Every
Let's get. This is what I was needing.
battle that is
Get active.
We were going to kill Lestat. We were going to kill Lestat. I think the medication has overwhelmed our boy.
Trubidis rebus ad infinitum.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna use this as a thumbnail. A lot of this episode, this isn't how Lou was making me feel, but close to that, like, bro, you got me sinking into the couch, my boy. Like, let's come up with a game plan. But I understand from a like the show aspect, if they don't let that sinking feeling, that just depressive feeling stay with you long enough, the payoff of them feeling like this at the end won't hit as hard. So I get that, but I was just like I need him to come to a realization. I need him to understand something. And it's still baffling to me that Claudia had to like spoon feed it to him. Like, I'll tell you a secret, something you might not be aware of. You want this motherfucker gone too. So like I said, her character is just, she's not, it's hard to say she's leaps and bounds ahead of, not as far as acting and stuff like that, but just in terms of like progression wise, watching her journey is way more enjoyable for me personally than watching Louis right now, or watching Louis throughout that episode. Lestat, as much as he was doing just appalling, diabolical shit, it was still very intriguing just to watch the journey that he took you on, of all the manipulation and the deceit and the cheating, the things that he can do. And like I said, Louis, it was just, I think this motherfucker even got on a gray shirt. Yeah, it was just, I'm here, I'm gray. I don't know, but I mean, people get like that. Was that it? This Bruce? I can't tell if that's Bruce or not.
What's in the bag?
Oh, it's Daniel.
Hi. Are you an assassin? Am I the man you came to kill?
I'm a writer.
You can avoid whatever you want.
Louis de Pointe de Lac. That's an interesting name. I do interviews mostly. Hey, you know, I could interview you. Look, I get him on tape, and then I write him up.
They're in his mind.
I know you're struggling, Danny.
You a narc?
I'm a vampire.
He's like, no, I'm dead ass though.
I want to interview you.
You go ahead, have your fun.
So he's been with him for years. Not another power that they have, like they can enter your dreams or some type of shit. The audacity. I'm gonna write a song to you telling you to come to me. Like, you can't basically be away from me. And I'm gonna put the chick in the song that you know I'm with to try to get a rise out of you. Lestat's out of his mind. I love the character, dude. He's crazy dude. I feel like I already talked enough about all the characters. I don't want to keep beating up Louis, metaphorically. Sorry, I don't even mean to chuckle at that. He's been getting beat up enough. I talked enough about Lestat. I do like the younger actor that's playing Daniel. He's hitting he has the same cadence, the same monotonish flow. They gave him the same like one-line responses, which is awesome as well too. And he's even got his tone down. Yeah, I think we talked enough. I appreciate you guys for watching. Shout out to my Patreons, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
As if the only crime unfit to print took place on that dance floor.
All watching them dance together. For what it's worth, and the music is influencing me as well too. This is it's so weird to say. It's beautiful, but we know what's gonna happen. It's such a beautiful moment for Lestat and Louis, but Louis to be able to accept his homosexuality and being able to just be out and express himself and doesn't care that there's people looking at them and stuff as well too. And I like it for Lestat in the sense that being a vampire is something that Louis always hid, but in this moment, just encapsulated in this moment, it's like you may not be able to walk as a vampire with me willingly and freely, but at least we're able to show who we are as far as our sexuality and how we love each other, and you're not shy about it, and I'm here for you in this moment. So it's beautiful and sad because there's gonna be some shit that happens, and I don't know if Lestat also knows that Louis planning something, or maybe Antoinette's been listening the whole time. Like, I don't know, but for this moment, it is very beautiful. But I know it ain't gonna stay like that. I know it's gonna get bad.
It was my sole duty to distract Lestat. But in his mirrored eye...
Yeah, but this is your coming out, too.
I lost the thread to my plotting and fell once more into the well with no bottom.
I might cry. I might fuck around and cry. Man, that's actually really sweet.